15 years ago, I brought the great practice, the great profession of chiropractic to the people of Vietnam. I was the first licensed chiropractor to practice in this country. Chiropractic is the third largest healthcare profession in the world. We're only second to dentists and to medical doctors. And Vietnam has been very accepting of doctors of chiropractic and the services we provide. In recent years, there's been a very disturbing development. Westerners, foreigners, who have no training in chiropractic and often have no doctorate degree whatsoever, have begun to present themselves to companies in Vietnam and to be hired as doctors of chiropractic. And there are actually 5 cases of this going on right now, but 3 that we're very certain of. This problem started out about 1 year ago. There was a physiotherapist that we knew very well, and he was practicing physiotherapy in District 2. And then suddenly, he came up on the Facebook and the internet as a doctor of chiropractic, doing chiropractic treatment in District 1 in a chiropractic center. And so we legitimate chiropractors, there's about 20 of us in this country, we got together, we wrote a letter to him and said, hey, we know that you're a physiotherapist. We don't know that you're a doctor of chiropractic. Could you please explain? And in the beginning, he defended himself. He said, I am a doctor and I am a chiropractor and I can do chiropractic treatment. But we wrote back to his school. We found out that he only had 3, maybe 4 years of actual physiotherapy training. He was not a chiropractor in his own European country. He was not a doctor of any kind in his own European country. And in fact, he could not be licensed as a doctor anywhere. But in Vietnam, he had above his head doctor, and he had doctor's coat on, and was talking about chiropractic, often incorrectly, and performing what looks sort of like chiropractic manipulations, also very incorrectly. And as we started to notice, we found out there were 2 more practitioners working in this center. And one of them was from Australia. And this particular person, as we investigated, and we got more and more reports, people would come and complain to us about the services they got. We found out that he had been tried to practice as a doctor of osteopathy in Australia, and he'd been caught with fraudulent documentation with homemade diplomas and had been prosecuted. He tried to practice as a doctor of naturopathy and had also been prosecuted. And he'd had 4 different court cases against him. And eventually, the courts of Australia stripped him of all ability to practice any form of healthcare in Australia. They said he's not capable of knowing from right from wrong, and he's a danger to society, and he's not to do any kind of healthcare whatsoever. And every single one of his diplomas are invalid. So this guy shows up in Vietnam, and he's, for the first time in his life, he's a doctor of chiropractic, practicing in a chiropractic center and doing chiropractic treatment. And so he's one of 3, and I can talk about the other guy too. But the point being, Vietnamese people who set up a company and they want to do like we do, they want to provide chiropractic services for their people. It's really unfair to them for a foreigner to come and to present themselves as a doctor of chiropractic and to try to prove they're a doctor of chiropractic when they have not had that training. It's unethical, immoral, and I'm sure illegal for anybody to profess to be a doctor of anything, a healthcare practitioner at a doctor level of anything, without the proper training and diploma and licensing. And so I find it very disturbing that there are centers in Vietnam, especially one, that uses the word for USA or America in its title. It has what it professes to be European chiropractors and American chiropractors, and yet the doctors practicing there are not doctors at all. They're not trained as chiropractors. And it's very unfair for these people to use the fact that as foreigners, as a foreign person, we're given a tremendous amount of respect and trust initially when we come to this country. If we have short hair, we're Caucasian, and we're a foreign national, Vietnamese automatically will believe in us and give us a lot more trust than they might someone else. And to abuse that trust and to use it to go and get a job for somebody and profess to be a doctor in something you're not a doctor of at all is really unethical and immoral on a very deep level. More than that, I feel it's tremendously unfair to the Vietnamese people who come to these centers with real conditions which chiropractic can help and present themselves to what they think is a doctor of chiropractic, somebody who they believe is a doctor, who is going to treat them with chiropractic techniques. And yet they're seeing somebody who's a total fraud, who is not trained in chiropractic techniques, who does things which are very crude. Their type of treatment is very crude. It's not, the type of training for a chiropractor is very hard to get. And so just what I want to say is, I feel that if you're a foreigner and you come to this country or any other country in Southeast Asia and you present yourself as a doctor of something you're not a doctor of, you're doing something very, very wrong. And in the case of Vietnam, the 20 plus chiropractors who are legitimately practicing here, who have paid the price to be licensed here, who are trying very hard to promote this great profession, we're not going to put up with it. We're going to continue to bring this up to the authorities, and hopefully something will happen. We hope very much that this kind of terrible thing stops in the very near future. Thank you.